Blessed and highly favored and extremely contagious I am, and I pray that you are as well. It is a beautiful day on this Wednesday in January, and I pray that you are remaining focused. You are not allowing anything to distract you from your New Year resolution or whatever goals that you set for yourself this year for 2016. Coming into 2016, I shared with the church and shared with the body of Christ, many of you, that this is the year of intentional. That 16 spiritually means intentional, and that everything that we must do in this hour of our lives, you have to be very intentional. I told you that this is a very defining moment for many of you. Should I say for all of us, for the people that are serious about being successful, serious about accomplishing our goals and walking into that place that God has already ordained for us, and that place that He declares to be our wealthy place. Then you have to be very intentional about everything that you do. Nothing can be by chance in this season. Nothing can be by chance in this hour. You have to be very intentional. This is a very defining moment for you. And listen, my brothers and sisters, all of us, I don't care who you are, all of us make decisions that affect us daily. And so those decisions that you are making, you have to be very intentional, because I'm telling you, every decision is going to affect you in some kind of way. I got a word that I want to share with you that God gave me this morning that I would like to share with you. And I'm telling you, this is why you have to be very intentional about everything you do. And while I was riding in my car this morning, the Lord said to me, he gave me this simple word, one word, and that was run. Yeah, he told me, he says, run, son. He says, in this effort of your life, you need to be found guilty running. Make sure that you're running. Of course, I begin to talk back to God and say, can you please explain to me what you mean? Because there's a lot of different things that goes in my head when I hear of that word run. He says, I want you to run. I want you to run. I want you to be very intentional about everything that you do. He said, make sure that you are focused, that you don't lose your focus. And I says, okay, God, I got that. I'm doing my very best to stay focused. He says, because you have to run away from the temporary pleasures that your flesh wants to lure you into, because the temporary pleasures is not worth the long-term pain that is associated to it. And so you have to make sure that you are running, because the temporary pleasure is not worth the long-term pain that is associated to it. The spirit is willing. That's what the Bible says. But the flesh is weak. And so you have to bring your flesh under subjection. And the only thing that can bring your flesh under subjection is a powerful vision. You got to have a powerful vision. So my brothers and sisters, I pray that you have a very powerful vision. I shared this morning with my people that a person without a vision, the Bible says, you will perish. If you don't have a vision, you're going to perish. And so you got to have a vision, and you got to stay focused. You got to stay very focused to that vision. And so I just want to share this very brief word with you. And that word is be found guilty of running. Run. Be very intentional. Run away from everything that goes against your strategy. Run away from everything that is not in agreement and in alignment with the goals that you set for your life. Don't connect to anything that is not in alignment with your vision and your goals. You got to be very intentional about everything you do. You got to be intentional about your health. You got to be intentional about what you eat. You got to be intentional about exercising. You got to be intentional about studying to show yourself approved, so that you can rightly divide the word of truth, so that you can release and exercise the wisdom that God has given you in every area of your life. If you're going to be successful, if you're going to be prosperous, if you're going to grow, if you're going to increase, if your territory is going to be enlarged in any capacity, You have to be very intentional. I'm telling you, you got to be very intentional. And so I want you to run, not just run away from the things that your flesh is trying to lure you to, but I want you to run. I want you to be found guilty of everything your hands find to do. You're doing it with all of your might. Be guilty. Be guilty of being so focused that you are running and you are working that vision. Work your vision. Work that vision. I'm telling you, work your vision. You can pray, you can fast, you can do all that. You can dance, you can shout. But if you're not working the vision, prayer without works, prayer and fasting, but with no works, you will find yourself still empty, still depleted, still frustrated, still agitated because you didn't do anything about it. Now, after you pray, you got to get up and you got to put some work. So be intentional. Be intentional about everything that you do. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer. I'm praying that you will be found guilty running. Run, my brother. Run, my sister, because the temporary pleasure is not worth the long-term pain. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer.